Sagapost is an AI story engine built around one clear promise: help creators make serial fiction that keeps track of characters, tone, plot threads, and the world rules across episodes. That matters because most AI writing tools are fine for a single scene. They can write a fun opening, a dramatic paragraph, or a quick outline. The hard part starts when you want episode 10 to remember what episode 1 set up. The page positions Sagapost around a persistent story Bible. That's the core idea here. You set up the premise, genre, tone, cast, and world details once. Then the system keeps using that memory as it writes the next chapter. On the page, the strongest proof is the sample story sequence. It shows a mystery series called Deep Dark Ozarks with multiple episodes and claims a detail from episode 1 carries into episode 3. That's the right kind of proof for this product because continuity is the product. The product seems best for fiction writers, newsletter creators, faceless story channels, fiction podcasters, game masters, and marketers who use character-based storytelling. If you publish one-off articles, this may be more tool than you need. If you're trying to create a recurring cast or a serial story habit, the idea is more relevant. Pricing is also fairly clear. The page shows hosted monthly plans plus a one-time agency-style plan where you bring your own AI API keys. That matters because there are two different buyers here. One buyer wants the tool to handle the AI costs. Another buyer already has AI keys and wants more control. The upside is obvious: memory, version history, image generation, story export, and a workflow that feels purpose-built for serial content instead of a blank chat box. The risk is workload. Sagapost can help create episodes, but it can't decide whether your premise is strong, whether readers care, or whether your distribution plan works. A story engine can keep a world organized. It still needs a creator with taste. I'd also check the refund terms, the monthly episode limits, which AI model is used on each plan, and what happens if you cancel. If you pick the agency option, make sure you're comfortable using your own API keys and paying usage costs separately. My verdict? Sagapost looks like a focused, useful tool for creators who actually want to publish serial fiction or story-led content. It's less interesting as a generic AI writer. The reason to consider it is the story Bible memory and the serial workflow. If that's your bottleneck, it's worth a closer look. And if you like reviews that separate the product promise from the actual buying decision, like and subscribe to Charles Draven Reviews. I'll keep testing tools through the lens of what a solo creator can use without turning their week into a second job. One practical way to judge Sagapost is to write down the exact result you expect before you buy. If that result is vague, the tool will probably feel vague too. If the result is specific, you can test the product quickly and decide whether it earns a place in your workflow. I also like to separate the tool from the traffic plan. A product can help create content, gather leads, or package an offer, but it usually won't fix weak positioning, a cold audience, or an offer people don't already want. That's where new buyers get disappointed. They expect the software to carry the whole business instead of using it as one part of a system. For a solo creator, the real question is time saved per week. If Sagapost saves you 3 to 5 focused hours and the output is good enough to publish or sell, that's meaningful. If it creates more cleanup work than it removes, the low price won't matter much. I would test it with one small project first. Use one niche, one offer, one traffic source, and one simple tracking method. Give it a fair trial, but don't judge it by the launch page alone. Judge it by what you can ship with it after the first few sessions. The best buyer is someone who already has a direction and wants help moving faster. The weakest buyer is someone hoping the product will pick the niche, write the offer, create the audience, and make the sales with no real strategy behind it. So my final buying filter is simple. Does Sagapost reduce friction in a task you're already committed to doing? Does it give you output you can use with minor edits? Are the limits, refund policy, and support terms clear enough for your comfort level? If the answer is yes, it's worth considering. If any of those answers are no, wait for more proof or start with the smallest plan available. Thanks for watching Charles Draven Reviews. Check the link in the description and pinned comment and make the buying decision that fits your actual business.